Wow, Shakur Stevenson beefing with multiple pro boxers, active boxers, former boxers, this time Andre Berto. Listen, I don't even know what's going on, but we got to talk about it. Shakur Stevenson beat a guy coming off of a loss, Artem Harutyunyan. He definitely won the fight. He's been met with a lot of criticism. A lot of people still criticizing it, saying, hey, your last fight before that with Edwin De Los Santos was not fun. It was not a fun to watch. I concur. I agree. It definitely wasn't. Shakur promised that entering this fight, he was healthy. Entering this fight, he was going to make a statement. Promise, promise, promise. And in the words of 3LW, I'm getting a little tired of your broken promises, promises. Shakur at the crib, they leaving fighters to fighters. I'm getting a little sick of your broken promises, promises. Listen, I'm going to keep saying the same thing in the boxing. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. Shakur is completely taking a turn for the worse and hurting his career right now. Listen, if you don't have power, you're not Gervonta Davis. Cool. Be you. Shakur insists on trying to punk everybody and fight Cameron and Mace. Now he's going out boxers. If you talk less, there's less that people can hold against you. I've said on my channel for years, the most dangerous thing is a camera, a microphone, and the internet, social media. And now you guys are seeing it, especially social media. Nevertheless, Shakur Stevenson, he's a grown man. He's a father. He's a son. He can do whatever he wants. I'm just giving you my opinion. Now he's going at Andre Berto. He did a post and delete, and it was Berto with his eyes shut. And Berto, for real, is a good dude. I know Berto, right? And he's super chill, right? Super chill. The thing that I guess set Shakur off was this tweet where Berto says, Shakur just needs to chill. Don't crash out because of these internet bullies. Sit back, see, and try to understand why everyone sees this as a flaw in his game and adjust. But stay sharp and smart, but adjust, because this is the entertainment business. Now, in my opinion, Berto, he handled this very professionally. He came at Shakur cool. He didn't really come at it. He's just giving him like almost like big brotherly advice, like, yo, this is what I would do in this situation. Or, you know, here's Shakur fires back and starts saying Berto's trash and all this type of stuff. Bro, this is looking crazy. Berto had to respond. He said he's wasting his finger energy tweeting right now. These fight fans are very fickle. Come back with an amazing performance. They're going to forget about all the other ish, which I agree. And then again, Shakur did a post and delete. He posted Berto with his eyes like bashed up, like, this is you from the Guerrero fight. He said, here you go with the BS. I wasn't disrespectful at all. I've had more wins than you've had years on this planet and almost as many knockouts with a career that spans over 20 years. And I took my criticism like a man trying to give advice. Period. Shout out to Berto. I think Berto is definitely winning. He said, this is the fight game, baby. You got to take the good with the bad. Everyone wants to be stars and get the attention from the world, but stay focused, kid. If you live by the cheers, you'll die by the boos. Man, PR training has helped me a lot. Old me would have went in on little homie. So he's saying like, bro, I'm not even going to waste my time, blah, blah, blah. Shakur responded. He says, and still was straight dogs. I beat your ass a couple years ago in the gym. Did you forget, dumb ass ninja? Stop it. So basically, Shakur, I don't know what, I mean, he's on his own at this point. I don't know what his aim is. Like, you're beefing with fighters. You have no allies. You're beefing with media, you know what I mean? Like blocking people, responding to random fans. This just look goofy. Let's just be, that's really what it is. And then like Shakur, he's saying, I beat you a couple years ago in the gym. In the words of Floyd Mayweather, the great TBE, congratulations. You have an undefeated fighter in the gym. Bro, why do certain fighters live and die by these sparring tales? I don't think people really care because, for one, we weren't there. There's no video footage of it, so we can't confirm or deny these allegations. And beyond that, who cares? People have bad days in the gym. Like, you have to understand, as a boxer, see, I'm around boxers. I'm in boxing gyms, right? The thing with the boxer is this is a profession. So when you watch these guys train and be around them, everybody just think of a regular, like if you work a regular retail job, you have good days. Like if you got a raise, everything's good. Perfect day, great customers, awesome. But then you have days where you got the a-hole customers and you got all these customer complaints. You just clocked in and it's nonstop drama and all these customers coming at your throat and wanting refunds and yelling at you or whatever. So it's the same type of deal. Boxing is no different. Guys have good days in the gym, bad days in the gym. It's what you do under the bright lights. And the consensus for Shakur Stevenson is under the bright lights, he's boring people. People are saying, oh, I fell asleep and my kids couldn't sleep, so we put on your fight, yada, yada, yada. And Shakur is coming across as very thin-skinned. And I don't think that's a good trait for a boxer, to be thin-skinned. Because imagine boxing is the only sport where when you're injured, you have to pretend that you're not. So let me give you guys an example. In football, if somebody got hit hard and tackled and they all not concussed, but almost concussed, and they just took a hard hit, they'll stay laying on the 20-yard line or whatever, and they just laying on the ground, and then they call a timeout and everybody checks on the person. So they don't get up and try to shake it off. I mean, some guys do, but sometimes guys take a bad hit and helmet to helmet contact or whatever, and they let it be known that they're hurt. Basketball, you've seen in the league at one point, there was a lot of flopping and people were like excessively flopping, things like that. So they're like, oh, foul. They were trying to draw the foul and like make it look super obvious, blah, blah, blah. In boxing, you got to get hit with a liver shot or a punch upstairs that really rocked you. And then you got to smile or say nope or pretend it didn't faze you. So I believe in the art of war, Sun Tzu. I believe in the 48 laws of power, Robert Greene. I believe in the strategy stuff, the skullduggery. So Shakur Stevenson coming across as immature online and coming across as very thin-skinned, that's a good advantage for an opponent in terms of skullduggery. He's easy to get him riled up and tweet and help him lose focus. So I don't know if Shakur is trying to be like Ryan Garcia, and seeing Ryan Garcia got a lot of attention on himself by going crazy on social media before his fight with Devin Haney, and he's trying to emulate that. Or maybe he just has a meltdown or reached some type of boiling point. I don't know. I'm not Shakur, so I can't tell you what the causation for this is, but I'm here to let you know from the outside looking in, this looks really bad. This is not shade. This is not, me trying to kick a man while he's down. In fact, he's not even down. He won his fight. I've never seen a person act like this and flip on fans, active fighters, former fighters, the media. Like, he blocked Mike Coppinger of ESPN. Like, this just looked crazy. And this is off of a victory. What would happen if Shakur loses, bro? Imagine if he loses. He already cried at the Olympics. You know what I mean? So it just looked bad. He want to fight Cameron and Mace. He's drumming up drama with Ishe Smith and Andre Berto. This new generation look washed, bro. I'm just going to be real. If this is how they handle criticism, y'all washed. And the funny thing is, for me, I'm a different generation. I'm a generation before a Shakur Stevenson. So for me, the way I look at it, I'm an online personality. Not everybody likes Boxing Ego, and that's okay. I like it, because if everybody was just throwing rose petals at my feet, then I couldn't be pushed to the greater extents of what I can do, because I would have no resistance. So I like the resistance. It doesn't feel good necessarily when a person sees somebody slandering their name or talking bad about them on the internet. But I like it, to be honest, because if you don't have haters, you're not popping. I know I'm popping. Best in the business, and it's not even close. Not everyone is gonna like Boxer Ego. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Cool, I'm good with that. The people that rock with me, rock with me. Somebody sent me an $80 Cash App yesterday. I haven't even done a live stream in weeks. You guys are still showing love to the Cash App. Cash App in the description box. Appreciate everybody for the love. But some people don't love it, and that's fine. I'm not going tit for tat. Shakur is a multi-millionaire, and he's making himself, he's like stooping to the level of, who knows, some of these people work at Kmart or, just regular jobs, or could be unhappy with their life, and you're just responding to them. It's a bad look. And to me, it is almost shocking that Shakur Stevenson doesn't have like OGs or people close to him that don't tell him to tap out and like, hey, bro, just because to me, this looks bad. Berto, anybody who knows Berto knows he's a warrior and he's a good dude. Anybody. I never even heard anyone really beef with Berto. You know what I mean? So the fact that you beef with all these like random fight, Marcus Brown and people like Cameron and Mace, it looked weird, bro. And it looked like Shakur, he needs yes men around him and people singing his praises, because he almost don't know how to act. And hey, if it works for him, keep doing it. But I challenge you guys all to go into the comment section of Shakur Stevenson's post where he's talking about Berto or ranting and, saying his hands were hurt and all that, and just read the comments and you tell me, here's what they think about you. Let me know in the comment section of this video if you think Andre Berto was disrespectful. You don't have to get disrespectful for any level of criticism. Not everyone wants to see you do bad. Like me, I truthfully don't have anything against Shakur Stevenson, but I'm gonna voice my opinion. That's not gonna stop. And I don't know if you guys feel me on this one, but in my world, in my generation, or my line of thinking, I think it's bad for a fighter to crash out and show this side of them on the internet. So you're being judged and it's hurting your brand, for one. But beyond that, I don't think it looks good optically for a fighter to come across as this emotional. Like, bro, you have a whole kid. You have like a seed to raise. What does that look like if daddy is just like ranting and like going crazy on everybody online, or your girl? Like, what does that look like to people? Like, if you're just always seemingly angry and combative and, defensive on people. And just from the fight perspective, is like, imagine William Zepeda or Rolly or Ryan Garcia or whoever. Shakur could fight one of these and if they think Shakur is this like easy to trigger and they could get a rise out of him, Ryan Garcia, like the stuff he was doing to Devin Haney, he could mess around and make Shakur Stevenson fight the wrong type of fight by taunting him and doing what he was doing to Devin Haney. And from the looks of it, it looks like Shakur would bite on it. I give Shakur his credit. To this point, he's looked pretty composed in the ring. Like, it hasn't affected his game plan, but it's just a weird way. Like when it gets to the point where you're beefing with Berto, like what's next? You're gonna beef with like Mother Teresa's daughter? Like, what are we talking about? All this over a victory because people said you're boring. And again, you guys could play games with me if you want. I know I speak clearly. I know you understand it. If you understand English, you understand what I'm talking about. Shakur brought this pressure on himself. He was literally in the fight saying he's gonna knock out Artem. Before the fight, I'm gonna knock out Artem. So guess what? You failed. I live very cut and dry. You look at certain tests in life, like a DMV test. It's a pass or a fail. It's not like if the DMV, to get a permit, if they say you can miss 6 questions and you miss 7, you failed. There's no like, oh, hey, no, you failed. Maybe they'll give you a chance to retry it. and do the test again, but then they give you like 3 shots, and if you still keep failing, you have to wait a period of time before you can retest. Pass or fail, pass or fail. Very easy to understand. I used to work regular jobs, or quote unquote regular traditional jobs. My manager always told me, under promise and over deliver, meaning don't make commitments and promises to the customer that we might not be able to keep. Like this happened, we used to sell appliances. So the delivery team, if their schedule was booked and then a person spent $1,500, because we used to get commission. So say they spent $1,500 on a fridge and then they bought a washer and dryer, it's like a $3,000 ticket. I'm getting commission off of that. But the people would try to push it and rush it and be like, hey, can you deliver it on Friday? I look at the deliveries and I see they're swamped on Friday and there's already too many deliveries. Then I have to go with the computer, and the computer would be like, we can't deliver it until Monday. What some people would try to do is they want the commission so bad, they were so thirsty to close that sale that they would pretty much promise the date and get an override and say we could deliver it on Friday and then make the customer happy in real time. But what would happen is sometimes that Friday, since that was the last delivery that was added, if something happened on one of these other deliveries, then they have to cancel that person's, the last person, because it's like first come, first serve, and they would cancel that person's order. Now you have an upset customer because they're like, oh, yo, Ego told me this would be here on Friday. So that's why I never did that. If the computer says I can't deliver it till Monday, so I'll schedule you for Monday at this time slot between 3 and 5. If we have any cancellations, I will notify you and see if you want an earlier delivery, if we can accommodate. Boom. That's called under promise and over deliver. Now, let's say we got a cancellation in delivery on Friday. I call, hey, Miss Johnson, we got a cancellation. This is Ego. We'll deliver this we could deliver it today for you instead of the Monday. Do you accept? Oh yeah, that'd be great. Boom. Thank you. Now the customer's happy with me. So when it comes to Shakur Stevenson, that's not what he did. He kept saying he was going to knock out Artem, and he failed. Pass or fail, he failed. You kept saying it through the fight, and the tenor of the fight changed. You seen Artem was durable. It wasn't going anywhere. And then you start copping, please, this guy, man, he keep running. Oh, this guy's durable. I know, Grandpa, I know you want me to stop him, but I don't know. I can't. It's hard to stop a person who's moving. Bro, that sounds pathetic, bro. That sounds truly pitiful. You want Artem Harutyunyan, a competitor and Olympian, to sit in front of you because you have minimal power and you're trying to fight like you're Gervonta Davis, and you want him to just sit there and be a sitting duck to make it easier for you to chop him up. Nobody's gonna do that. Even if you get a guy hurt, the goal is to not get knocked out. So Shakur is copping please, talking about, oh, he was in survival mode. No, who wants to get knocked out on ESPN? Like, what are we talking about, bro? You think Frank Martin enjoyed getting knocked out by Gervonta Davis? Absolutely not. But it comes with the territory, and Tank set him up, and Tank is just a killer and got the power and got it done. So Shakur sounds bad because it's like he almost expects Artem or whoever to sit in front of you. And guess what? It's not going to get any easier, because as the competition rises and you fight, because Shakur hasn't really fought nobody to me, you know what I mean, in terms of anyone that I think is like great, that you heard Ego praise is great, like Gervonta Davis, right? So with that being said, the competition is going to get stiffer. Guys are going to get more keen and smarter, even if you're able to hurt him, which we don't know because Shakur has limited power. But even if you do, you can't just necessarily bet that you're going to stop them, because they become more resilient and resourceful. If you spray an insect with Raid, guess what? The insect is going to try to like spin around and do cartwheels and try to evade the stream of Raid so it doesn't die from the poison. Boxing's no different. You get a guy hurt, he going to try to survive and last it and maybe come back in the fight if he has his bearings back. So Shakur talking about he ran and all that. That's what people said about you versus Edwin De Los. Man, get me off here.